Hi Aries, and welcome. This is your general scope for the week of April 24, 2017. And before I go on, just a short one, I'm not going to make this really long, is that just make sure you watch the commercials at the beginning of my videos. This is a hobby of mine, and that's how I get paid, is because YouTube has changed some things. So how I get paid is if you watch the commercials at the beginning of my videos or just let it run through. I do enjoy this, and this is how I can get the free readings out to you guys. But yet again, I do appreciate all the personal readings that are coming my way. I love doing them. You guys are awesome. And so let's just get started with you. So the week of April 24th, 2017. Again, I changed up my deck, giving my other one a break. This is the Gilded Tarot, and that's what that looks like, and this is what I love it because of the colors. It's just so vibrant and beautiful. Okay, so let's get started with you. The first card is Six of Pentacles. Okay, it's been a while since I've read with these, so it just might take me a little bit of time. You guys are the first reading video that I'm doing right now. And Six of Pentacles, this is about balance, harmony, maybe some money being gifted to you. It is about receiving, giving, and sharing as well. But it is also about balance. So you, at the beginning of the week, you might be in a receiving mode, giving mode, or in a sharing mode. So whatever that means to you. So just kind of pay close attention to that, how you might be feeling around this time. And it doesn't necessarily mean giving, receiving, sharing finances. It can also be time as well, because I don't just associate the pentacles or the coins as finances. I also relate them to time as well. So it can be time that you're receiving from another person, giving to another person, or sharing with another person. So just something to kind of be aware of. So, but it does also represent possibly receiving gifts as well. Next card we have is the Seven of Wands. Sevens, and I'm going to look at my cheat sheet because I get confused with the fives and the sevens, but the sevens shows the completion of a cycle and can bring changes. So that's one thing to just remember about the sevens. I need to remember that, but I always end up getting them mixed up, like I said, with the fives. But now a couple of things can be going on here, and that is that you have a wall. This is the beginning of the week as well. You have a wall that you're kind of building between you and maybe somebody else or you or other people. Or it is you standing your ground and defending something that is very important to you. Maybe it is something that you've built up and you feel that you need to defend yourself against. But for some of you, maybe you're defending something that's not even there, because if you look at the card closely, nobody's actually there. It's just wands. It's just wands that are sticking up, and nobody's actually there. So for some of you, there may be no reason to be defending something, but maybe there is a reason why you're standing your ground on something. But then others of you, there might be a good darn reason why you're standing your ground and why you're defending something so passionately. Okay, but yet again, it does bring about change. Okay, because it has to do with cycles. Next card we have is the Queen of Swords, and this one, it could be an energy, and it could be righteous energy that's coming through. This is about midweek, but like I say, energy does flow, so it could happen anytime during the week. But it could be a righteous energy, a truthful energy, maybe some truth coming in for you. Another thing is that if it's not energy, then it is a person, and if it is a person, this is a very blunt, honest, truthful person, and she's so honest and blunt and truthful that sometimes her truth hurts. and she rules more logically than more in the head than in the heart. So but you admire this person as well because she's so honest and truthful and blunt, even though it does hurt. But this could also be maybe a boss, a manager, supervisor, or so forth, who rules by the book. She or he does rule by the book and does point the fingers and say, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this, and you do it this way. So not someone very, I wouldn't say pleasant to be around, but that's the type of person that this one portrays if you're dealing with somebody like this. So it doesn't necessarily, it is a higher, it is a ruler, but doesn't necessarily have to be. This could be just a very good friend. This could be someone who you go to for advice as well. And you're, like I said, you admire this person because she's so honest, truthful, blunt, and just spits out the truth even though it can hurt. Sometimes we need that kind of truthfulness because we don't get it very often from people. So that's the type of person, if it is a person, that's the type of person you're dealing with. Or like I said, if it's energy, it's a very righteous energy. Next card we have is the Nine of Pentacles. Now this one, a few things going on too. This is a card of luxury, but on top of that, this is the kind of luxury that you got there yourself. You put your blood, sweat, and tears in it, and you got there all on your own. It wasn't inherited to you, it wasn't handed to you, it wasn't just passed on to you. This is something that you did all the hard work yourself. The only thing is you don't really have anybody to share it with. That's the only downfall to this. And for some of you, you guys don't mind because you rather be alone in a way. Than having to share it, or to not share it, to be around someone that does not serve you in a way. So some of them, some people, you would be very comfortable in this place. So yes, that's the other thing that I'm getting to, that if it isn't you, it could be somebody else. But on top of that, it could be the type of energy that that you don't really mind being alone, and not so terribly alone that you're so isolated, just alone in a general sense that the other thing is comfort. Comfort and security. So you could be, it's that kind of energy as well, or you're feeling quite confident about yourself as well. So few things going on with that card. And nines is toward the end of a cycle as well. This is, I like to put it as in trimesters, as in a birth, in a pregnancy. So 1 to 3 months is the first trimester, so on and so forth. So this is like the ending of a pregnancy, the third trimester. And so I kind of look at it that way. So it's kind of an ending of a cycle, ending of something that brings you closer to the 10 of Pentacles. And next card we have is the Seven of Cups. So 7 of Cups. So a few things going on with this card too. So again, you have another 7. And I gotta read it again. So it shows the completion. So you're 3 times already. You're kind of at a completion of a cycle. So, and this is so that means you have a very busy week ahead of you, and coming into completions of different cycles, and not just one, but kind of like three cycles that's going on. So one, it could be truthful, righteous energy. Another one could be your finances, or just feeling comfortable and secure. And this one, again, instability, no, not instability, sorry, shows the completion of a cycle and can bring changes. So a lot of changes are going on for you during this week. And so a few things going on. Do you have a lot of desires? That's one. And it's all about choosing, and it's about a choice. So this is all about making a choice and deciding which desires you're going to go forth with. What kind of dreams are you going to go forth with? So it's about choosing, making a choice is pretty much what this card is all about. Making a choice, picking which one you're going to choose. but it can also mean not just desires, but it could be in many invitations being offered to you. This is getting close to the weekend as well, so you might get a lot of invitations out there, and you're picking and choosing which ones you want to go out or do during the weekend. So it could be a date offer, it could be friendship offer, it could be just going out with friends, it could be just going out with friends and family, or family. So I mean, just many invitations. So one might be a date, one might be with a friend, and one might be with family. So it's just all about the choice and you choosing what you're going to do. Which one are you going to choose? So that's basically what that means, and it could bring about some kind of change. So if it is a date, then that could bring about a change to you, to where you could get serious with a person. Other than that, it could be going out with a friend, and you're choosing to go out with a friend during the weekend, and that brings about a lot of changes too. It could hinder or it could prosper and bring your friendship a lot closer to a more deeper friendship. And if it's with family and friends, it could bring about a change somehow with that as well. But somehow it's bringing about a change. So a choice you make can bring about a change. And again, it's an ending of a cycle as well. So just be aware of that. Next card we have is the Eight of Wands. Now, usually with this card, it represents good news coming your way, and coming your way quite swiftly. What else is this? For some readers, they read it as maybe things still up in the air. But for me, I don't necessarily. But if it resonates with you, then so be it. But for me, wands are constant. It's a movement. So this is a card about moving forward as well. Because wands are movement. And what else? This could be a literal trip that you're taking, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a faraway trip. It could be a trip to the next town, next city. And maybe that's where maybe your invitations come in, to going out and actually visiting a next town or next city. You know, could be just going hiking somewhere as well. So that could be it as well. But it's about movement, and it's about moving forward. So you could be getting good news, swift news at that. Other than that, maybe things are still up in the air for you about something, and maybe it is about making that choice on if you should go out on this date with a person, which friend you're gonna spend some time with, or whose house you might visit regarding your family. Could be just as simple as that. So just look out for that. And that's a weekend card. So moving forward, or it's just movement as well, getting out there. Last card we have is the Eight of Cups. So one thing with this card is this is a card about movement as well, and it's about a card of moving forward. And it could be with anything. It could be, but it's leaving something behind, something that no longer serves you anymore. Okay, and this is an emotional card, so it could be emotional feelings, it could be a belief that you have, it could be an actual relationship, it could be a friendship that's ending, that just no longer serves you. It could just be about anything, but it is a card about moving forward, leaving something that no longer serves you behind. Okay, so let's kind of recap here. You could be receiving some kind of gifts at the beginning of the week, but it is a card of receiving, giving, and sharing. So, and it is a card of balance. So you could be feeling any one of those feelings at the beginning of the week. Doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could be financial for some of you, but for some of you it could be time related. So receiving time from somebody else, giving time to somebody else, sharing time with somebody else. Next card we have, next thing that we have is bring it about. See, I gotta read it again. Shows the completion of a cycle and can bring changes. You could be building up a wall against someone or something, but you are standing your ground on something, and you're defending something quite passionately at this time. Next we have is some righteous energy, some truthful energy coming in. Other than that, if it is not an energy, it is a person. And if it is a person, you're dealing with a very blunt, honest, truthful person who to the point that it can hurt. The truth can hurt. So you admire this person. It could be somebody that you're going to for advice. Other than that, just kind of keep that in mind about this bluntful person, though, that you could be dealing with at the probably about coming midweek or so. And this is also about cutting through the bull as well. So if you're in this position, you could be feeling comfortable at this time, very quite secure in where you are at this time, and you could be cutting through some bull at this time as well. So that's just another little thing put in there. Next, we're coming toward the ending of a cycle again. You put your blood, sweat, and tears into something. This is a luxury card, but that doesn't necessarily have to be, but you're quite comfortable and secure at this moment, and you're the one that got yourself into this place with your own hands, with your own blood, with your own sweat and tears. Okay. The only thing is that you could be quite lonely. You're not, but you're comfortable with this. You don't mind it at all. And it comes to like I said, it comes to an ending. You're coming toward an ending of a few cycles here. Next, you could have a lot of desires. It is a card of making choices or making a choice at this time, and it could be about anything. It could be a desire, a wish, mostly basically desires. So, or you could be getting many invitations coming in, and you just need to make a choice about that. Next, you could be getting some really swift news, good news coming in for you at this time, and this is about the weekend. Or for some of you, some things could be still left up in the air at this time. You could be going on a literal trip at this time as well, but it doesn't necessarily have to be far. It could be to the next town or next city. Last card we have is moving forward, and as well as with that 8 of Wands, it's a movement card. You're moving and moving forward with something. But again, with the last card that we have is you're moving forward with something. You're leaving something behind that just no longer serves you anymore. It could be an emotional thing. It could be a literal relationship. Doesn't have to necessarily mean a love relationship. It could be a belief as well that you're having at this time, and so you're just leaving something behind. It could be emotional. Other than that, it could be a literal relationship. So that brings us to the end, and I thank you for watching. I hope it resonates with you. Again, thank you for watching. I wish you a very awesome week. I think I need to bring this up a little bit. So I wish you well. Wish you a great week. Other than that, I'll see you next week. And I bid you aloha.